recommended strategies, we're going to be unbelievably advanced. But it's a good place to start because it's telling us where some issues are, and a lot of them we probably knew about, but this, puts them on paper so that we have some place to plan from. There are individual I'm looking at one that maintain, enact, or amend ordinances to allow the addition of at least one accessory apartment per dwelling unit in growth areas subject to site suitability. And that's one that I said, okay, what exactly does that mean? And I think as we go through this, we're going to find lots of those that we think we have a sense of what it is, probably need a little more explanation so that we can actually start working on it. But I think the materials here to enable us to start discussing some of these things, and Gary's probably priority, or not priority, his challenge is going to be what is a priority, because there's a lot of stuff in here that we can address.
Well, my goal is, Don, as I said to you, if this thing passes, which I'm anticipating it is, it will, I'm going to put together a steering committee for this, and that'll be the task of that committee. And I'll try to find several committed souls to stick with me for the next few years and try to keep us pointing in the right direction. I'm not going to be able to do this by myself. I'm going to have some help on it.
Well, my guess is that...
I think you've got a new tour.
No, I know you suggested that earlier, but I think the council will probably, and maybe, I think it's a great idea, maybe the committee will decide that the council may prioritize. Which areas in here are that we want to start with. You might have a recommendation that you prioritize, and we'll review it. So I think there's enough here, there's more than enough here to lead us, and I think it was a great job, and congratulations to the committee and all the members who were on it, and all the people who served, and I'm sure that the state will have no problems stamping their approval on it. I think the process that we give it to them, and they'll send it back with some comments, maybe or maybe not. But I think it's a job well done.
I think from the very beginning, 2.5 years ago, that my idea of what we were trying to do is, if you're familiar with businesses and business decisions, we were trying to create a business plan for the town of Oakland. Like any good business would have a business plan for what they've been up to, what they're doing now, how they hope to grow the business. And that was the take that I've had on this. I think when it talks about auxiliary apartments or whatever it mentioned, it's talking about the hope that from a lot of people on that committee, that at some point the density of the population, that a lot of people, as transportation becomes more difficult and people become older, that there tends to be more people who would like to live in a smaller condensed area where they have access to the post office and the grocery store and other businesses, instead of being spread out. Not to mean that it's not okay to spread out and have your 5 acres of land, but more and more people are interested, I think, in consolidation of where they live with the services. And so there was a lot of that in this piece. And the most important thing about this book, I think, is that we don't take it and put it on a shelf somewhere, that we need a committee to immediately, or almost immediately, to begin to look at those things that we need to do. Because if we put it on the shelf and it ends here tonight, or when we vote on it, it's not worth a damn. And the committee worked too hard to make it meaningful, to allow that to happen.
And that was my fear, Bob. I mean, when we took this task on, because I've talked with so many town managers that's exactly what they've done. They sit on there and collect dust. I'm not going to let that happen.
Yeah, you can't.
I've learned a lot about the town of Oakland. I've learned a lot about comprehensive plans. I think all of us have. And so it's been an educational part for me, as well as most of the people that sat on that committee. Anything else?
So that being said, Bob, would you like to make a motion?
I would move that the council, is this a first reading, or is this an ordinance? What is this?
Well, this is the first reading of, this is actually allowing us to send this off to the state, and there's a few more tweaks that we're gonna do to it, so.
So do we need to
accept
do
it.
this in 2 different meetings?
I don't think we need to, I think.
You don't think, well, then I would simply move that the council approve the new comprehensive plan, and which is headed now for the state and eventually will be voted upon by the people.
What order are those in?
We're gonna vote on it.
Yeah.
If we like it, and then it's gotta go to the state, and the state's gotta review it,
That's what I meant.
and it's gotta be voted on in June.
June, that's the
Fine.
target.
I didn't know if we
Vote.
voted on it before it went to the state or whether it was the other way around.
We just have to accept it in its contents right now. You've got a couple of changes that I'm gonna
Yeah.
make in this, forever
Yeah.
changes, I'm gonna take care of that.
As amended, I would move that we approve it as amended with the amendments that we talked about, and then it's going to go to the state, and we don't anticipate that the state is gonna be, we are 99% certain that the state's just gonna look at it and say, okay. They may object to some sequencing or something, but they're not gonna have something that we can't fix. And so when the townspeople vote on it in June, it's possible that the state will be back. It's possible that they won't, and how we deal with that. But I think we can vote, if the people vote for it in June, I think we're all set. And I don't anticipate anything, nor did Garvin, Growth Council, anticipate any problems with the state. And I think they may have even actually,
The state's been involved in this.
they know what's going
Yeah,
on,
they know
and
what's
he's
happening.
been in touch with them, and they kind of, so.
Yeah, I didn't know if one of them was contingent on the other one. It had to be a certain order that we did that. But that doesn't-
No, the only thing that's, we need to, if we want to approve it, we need to approve it, the council, then it needs to go to the people to vote on it. If the people vote on it, then we're all set. And the state's input is required, but we don't anticipate there's going to be any problem.
So motion made, do I have a second?
Yeah.
Second. All in favor?
Thanks, Bob.
Thank you, Bob, for all your hard work on it.
I had a good bunch of people who spent a lot of time working on that.
That was very well done.
Thanks.
Item number 4, to vote accepted donations for music series.
Yeah, we've got another sponsor, Don Stewart from Caldwell Banker has stepped up to the plate with another $1,000, so we're up to $10,000 this year for a music series. And so we're pretty much guaranteed we're gonna bring in some good music. Like everybody knows, last year we had a 30% increase over the year before. We're pretty much at capacity down there, so it's well received. All I need is a motion to accept these donations and we can move forward.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Next item up is the vote allowing business community to hold their meeting and greeting Wednesday, July 22nd.
Okay, so this is the Oak Fest week. What they did last year was they held it on Thursday night, which was our music series, and it actually interfered with the amount of people going to the meet and greet. They're actually having a bigger event this year. They're gonna have an art walk on Main Street. They've got all kinds of stuff planned, so the Wednesday it'll be on a Wednesday night. It'll be utilizing the same parking lot on Center Street that we've used. So if we vote to agree to allow them to do it on a Wednesday night, I would also like to go and have you vote to agree to allow them to use that parking lot again. It's been, good for our business.
I'd make a motion that we do that again this year.
Second.
Second by Don, all in favor?
I have a follow-up question.
Sure.
What was the date?
The 22nd,
July
July 22nd.
That would not be a council night, would it?
Thursday night.
Not in July, we only have one in July.
Yeah, we'll make sure
I'm
it's
just
on a
saying, it would
council.
not be, that's why I didn't really, I said it would not be a council night.
So I've got one other question, a follow-up question on my end on that. I was approached by the business committee yesterday, and they're asking me again to ask the council if you would like to go and make a financial donation to the business committee this year. They're actually going to use this money to raffle off the donation from the town to it'll go to a charity of the town's choice. So this was requested of me, and I'll throw it at you. Last year, remember, I asked for $500. They wanted to see if you would donate $500 to the business committee. They're at it again, and they would like any denomination, $100, $50, $500. Would the council like to contribute to this group?
Could you rephrase what the money is going to?
Yeah, so what they're going to use it for is they have a Spirit of Oakland award. This will be the first year. And so part of the Spirit of Oakland award is that the person who gets selected for this gets to choose a charity that they would like to donate the proceeds to. And they're looking for a donor to give that money up, to make a financial donation to this award winner so that that award winner can choose a charity of some type, whether it be the Oakland Food Bank, and that seems to be what they're talking about, or if it's something to do with the town of Oakland. And they've got all the bases covered. This is one hole that they haven't filled yet, and it would be benefiting the business committee and tax dollars.
What did we do last year?
We didn't do anything. Remember, we talked about a $500 donation, and we chose not to do that. And they're aware of that too. I mean, I told them, I said, it didn't go well last year, so there's no guarantees this year on this one either. But
Are there any criteria for the charity that?
it has to be an Oakland charity. I mean, something to do with it's the History House, the McCartney House, or if it's the food bank seems to be the one that everybody's pointing at. There's three nominees. The nominees are Kelly Roderick, Gene Ponitz, and me. And they've all voted, and they have their winner selected, and so all three of us have to show up at the gala on Friday night to see who gets selected for this award. And so there you have it. This is your business group. These are your business leaders. These people are, really working hard to try to do something with our downtown. I just want to, and they're doing it. I mean, I've seen energy with this group that I haven't seen before, and it seems to be taking its own life.
Go ahead.
We have $500 that we didn't award to our third parties.
It's for next year's budget.
It's next year. Budget's already been done. Was that 500 taken out?
Yeah, we pulled it out. That's done. If I was going to make a recommendation, I'd say $50 or $100. I wouldn't go $500. It would.
Are they going to? Is whatever we give them is what they're going to give away?
They're going to give it away.
I would move we give $100 to be given away to an Oakland nonprofit that is chosen by the individual that is so honored.
Second.
Motion's made. Bob, got a question?
I'm just trying to follow I don't want to be seen as being anti-business, but to take $100 and out of the taxpayer's pocket and give it to the Oakland, whatever it's called, Business Association, Business Committee, for them to award to someone who will then choose where it goes, sounds like
the downtown, or the business group is giving them the money that's actually given.
it sounds convoluted to me. I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to giving the business committee. I don't know where they get their funding. I don't know if they raise money
Their
from.
funding is all self-raised. Yeah, it's through this gala. This is the biggest funding source that they have.
I wouldn't mind, I guess, giving the business committee an amount of money, but I would. It seems like it's not my place about to take taxpayer money, then give it to a group who's going to award it to somebody to give to somebody. It just sounds like I'd have a hard time explaining that. If you told
I
me,
had a hard time explaining it to you.
yes, well, if you told me that the business committee is looking for $100, out of our general fund to pay for their endeavor, and they choose then to do whatever they want, I don't, that makes more sense, doesn't it? That's just me.
I don't disagree with what you're saying, Bob.
Davis?
Kind of sounds like a third-party request, like we dealt with for weeks on end.
Don't
And then
get
And then we come back, and I don't want to sound like I'm against business, I'm all for that, it's just, it sounds like it's a third-party request that is coming in late.
Well, it's gonna multiply what somebody's already gotten perhaps. If it goes to food pantry, we already have that in the budget. But I guess I like Bob's rationale. If this is something really positive for the businesses, the town, I think we can support them to some amount and they decide. But I guess we probably wouldn't want them saying that this money was donated by the town.
See, and that's what it would be.
For
It
this
would be,
purpose.
yeah, and that's exactly what they'd be doing with it.
But could they rethink it and just say, we're gonna give you money to help you with this
Well,
program?
this is coming in at the 11th hour. This event is actually happening on Friday. And so I just, you know,
Go ahead,
I
Dan.
think my only rationale, I agree with Bob, but I think we're donating, this is gonna give a lot of publicity to some charity type thing in Oakland and probably help with more donations to them. So I see it as kind of seed money to the Oakland Food Pantry or one of these organizations, whichever one they pick. And I think they use it to give them publicity, I guess is why I feel that it's a reasonable thing to do with that small amount. I don't like giving away tax money either.
So a motion was made and second, all in favor?
What's the motion? The original motion?
The original motion.
Oh,
We still have to,
I would, making the motion, I would like to amend the motion.
you amend the motion. Okay.
That we just provide $100 to the business association, who would be free to, on behalf of the business